tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the head song. Big with the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm on the it's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason to doubt, it's clear to see. All eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hate it or love it. The underdog with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Powers through. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Looking to throw on second down. Stanley looking deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 40 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They go play action here on first down. And quick throw here, that's complete. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, You just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
And Lutz puts this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. For the former Nittany Lion, this is Saquon Barkley, and he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Detroit!
On 3rd down, Patterson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Taken from just outside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Watch him now, Barney!
Throwing on 1st down. Stanley. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Patterson. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Patterson to Barkley on the check down. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go now.
To throw on 3rd down. Patterson. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Bryant. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Detroit! Detroit!
Off the bootleg. Stanley. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. It's caught inside the 25. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 55 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll run for it with Cook. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
They pitch it out to Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Spinning away. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Patterson. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. Successful start to the drive. 17 yards and moves the sticks. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arm saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Blue landed! Blue!
To throw on 2nd down. Patterson going deep here for Bryant. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Martavis Bryant with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Giants are in for 6. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead is now 14-10. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Stanley throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. Stanley will try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now out come the Giants. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 1st down, Patterson. He sets the fire deep. He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Odell Beckham, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On 1st and 10, Stanley. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Off play action, Stanley. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw. Stanley is going to go for a big play, and that's caught inside the 35. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. First down, here's the run with Cook. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Stanley. And he finds Cook. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Again, this is Cook. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Looking to throw on second down. Stanley. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on third down conversions, but they need 7 yards here.
No. Check. Patriot.
From the gun, Stanley fighting a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. New York set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. Barkley already showing the ability to transform this Giant running game as they come up here on first down. Throwing on first down. Patterson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Off the play fake. Patterson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Now let's go. Green, 30.
Operating from the gun. Patterson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on second down, Patterson. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And give him a gain of 37.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. Exactly right.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. First down, Patterson. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Danielle Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, Patterson. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play, right?
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a give to Barkley. And a short gain here, down to the 22. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Barkley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
On 3rd down, Patterson on the move to his left. He finds Beckham complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. On 1st and 10, Patterson. And this is going to be incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
All right, here we go. Blue landing.
To throw again. Patterson. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Everson Griffin able to drop him for a loss of 4. The Giants on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Patterson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back to throw. Stanley. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Stanley looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
Looking to throw on second down. Patterson. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Gone! Hurry up, here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. Fights him off. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now let's go. 319.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Patterson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a confident man.
Aren't I, though?
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw on 2nd down, Stanley. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, Stanley. And a throw right sideline is complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Operating from the gun, Stanley. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 42. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Handoff to Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Hurry up, here we go!
Now Saquon Barkley, and he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, Patterson. He finds his target, Beckham. Breaks the tackle, now Allen. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10.
Gone!
On second down, Cook. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. 2
yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll run with Barkley. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Let's go!
Now it's Barkley. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Barkley. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And Rosas puts this one through. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing on 1st down. Stanley firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On the carry, it's Cook. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 18 yards there and a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, Stanley. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
And his throw is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off play action. Stanley. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done. This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to get the football back. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Giants, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota,